Welcome to the Gals Guide podcast. Join us on an adventure to get to know famous and infamous women from around the world. Each of our presenters has a pick. Is she ancient history? Is she breaking news? Is she safe for work? Well, that's up to each presenter. All we know is that...
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Welcome back. I'm Katie, and I'm joined by Riwu and Amy. Bonnie had to step out.
Bonnie had to go.
She had family plans.
She did.
We still love her.
It's okay.
There was a ham waiting.
There was a ham was involved.
I mean, we are recording and tomorrow is Easter, so nobody can get away from the ham.
This is very true.
Except me, because we don't eat ham.
Me too.
All right. Well, Amy and Riwu and I will continue on with recording this month.
Absolutely.
Bonnie did share with us about Armenia the First.
Yes.
Amy shared about Sameera Moussa, and about the social media crackdown in Egypt, which is fucking dumb.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, just saying that.
Boy, I talked a lot, and I could have summed that up in 2 words.
We needed the full experience.
I mean, if you can't feel that amount of outrage and understand like how insidious it is, it's just you need it laid out, and we appreciate that.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yes, thank you.
Right, I don't have anything that deep for us.
Okay.
Which is good because I've had a lot of beer to go with my peanut butter cupcakes.
Oh, you're so good. Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Yes.
But before we learn about my one gal, I want us to share something random. Yeah. And you know it's me, so it's always got to be about food.
Yes.
Okay. I want to know, what is your favorite Middle Eastern food?
Well, I'm very excited that falafel is a Middle Eastern food because really I just think of it as a more savory, better tasting hush puppy. Because I love hush puppies, but there's not a lot going on there. But you get me falafel.
Oh, so good.
And I'm there for it. And I've seen my husband's got all these different kind of like mixes, and it's like, hey, do you want to try this? And I'm like, you know what? I have not found a falafel I don't like yet, so bring it on.
Keep making it.
Exactly. There's no wrong answer in that.
And are you a hummus fan too?
Oh my gosh, I love the hummus. I really do. Also, any flavor as well, whatsoever. Unless it has the
Are you into the dessert hummus?
It's weird. My brain has a hard time. I've done it, and I've done it on
I feel the trauma. There was a pause.
Because my brain goes, this should be savory, not sweet.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the dyslexia. I think it's just
you need
how
to be blindfolded.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's not like a kinky suggestion.
Just call it cookie dip.
And I do. That's kind of how I think of it. Yeah, just put it with a cookie
What if
dip.
I told you I put hummus in these cupcakes?
I'd love you for it.
I did not.
You did not put hummus in the cupcakes. All right, but next time?
Maybe.
Chickpea cupcake?
It's possible.
The hummus is amazing. Yeah. No, I like it.
I make a lot with aquafaba from chickpeas, so
Oh.
It's a possibility.
Yes.
How about you, Amy?
Anytime.
Do you have a favorite Middle Eastern food?
I do, and it's mostly because of the memories.
Oh, there you go. A food is very much tied to memory, so
yeah.
And it is also delicious. But when I was in college, my very, very best friend, his mom, they were Armenian, and his mom is a caterer and a chef.
Ooh,
and
it's a good friend to have.
Yes. And one of their holiday foods was cuckoo.
Oh,
and
what is that?
Cuckoo is eggs and magic and vegetables. I do not cook.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
So you can ask me about ingredients. I'm like, there was stuff, and there was egg.
Yep.
I was told there was egg.
Right.
I really have no idea, but it's almost like a quiche or frittata.
Ooh.
But the flavors are so good.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just having such a good time at his house for the holidays and eating the cuckoo, and it's called cuckoo.
I know, right?
It's awesome.
Were you cuckoo for cuckoo?
Yes. And apparently it is served in different variations throughout the Middle East. Oh, and it's just an egg dish.
You can go travel around to try different variations.
Try all the cuckoos.
Yes.
And and it's made sort of like how a quiche is, so it's in a pan and in slices.
Gotcha.
But it's
delicious,
delicious, and I just have such fond memories of because he his family lived in the same town that our college was. So
nice.
We ended up hanging out at their house a lot, like our little group of friends.
That's where food was.
Yeah, that's where the food was. His dad was like a big wine guy and was always, you know, having us taste the wine and sniff it and do all this crazy stuff.
Right.
And I don't know what was going on. His
Rolling
mom's
around
the
in
caterer, so she's always trying new recipes.
Oh, nice.
And
It sounds like
that's where I'd
Katie's
be.
dream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so it just ended up, that was sort of we always met there
Yeah.
and then that's where we would
Your
go
starting
before
spot?
we went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the pregame was at
Oh.
Alex's house for snacks and
Nice.
wine with his dad. And
Yeah.
I don't know. And his house was just, it's one of those houses, like I still dream about his couch. Like it was the couch where like it just sucked you in. Half the time we would
Yeah.
never even go out.
Right.
It's
Because
like,
it would be so
no,
much fun
I'm-
to be in,
I-
right?
I'm in the couch now. The couch is
Right.
not letting me go.
And they're bringing food and wine.
It's like I'm in the couch.
That
I'm
is
not
perfect.
leaving. So yeah,
Nice.
I just look back on that so fondly, that time, and just how much fun it was, and
Yeah.
That was
and the
just a
food tied to it.
delicious food. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, memories and food going together and using food to celebrate certain
Yeah.
occasions. It's
Like
a
birthday
deep memory.
cupcakes. I'm just
Right?
saying.
Yeah.
Well, I love Middle Eastern food, and I definitely want to explore even further,
Yeah.
especially since at home we eat vegan, and there's so many possibilities in Middle Eastern
Yes.
food that encompass that.
Yeah.
I definitely love me some hummus and some falafel,
Yes.
saffron rice.
Oh, yeah.
Not vegan, but baklava.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about baklava, which is one of Josh's
I
favorites.
love it,
Yeah.
right?
I've made it for him before.
There's
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa,
I know,
that's
it's
fancy.
layers upon layers.
It is.
It was
It's a lot
a
of work.
dedication.
Awful.
Yeah.
I had to make that for like a second grade class.
Oh, really?
For their cultural studies.
It's a
I'm like,
complicated
what
dish
did
to
you
make.
sign me up for?
Yeah.
You know, they come home with the little scrap of paper, and it's like, I don't know how. I can't make.
Did somebody
I
pick this out
can't
of
make
a...
pancakes. Like, what are you saying? I cannot make this.
Oh, it was a trip to make, but it was delicious.
Food is such a great way to learn about other cultures, though. It definitely
Yeah.
is, and really
Mhm.
like engages you and opens your mind to learning more about those places. So,
Yeah.
I love that. I've always got to ask about people's favorite foods from
I like
different
it.
cultures.
As you should.
I know, right?
Well, who do you
Well,
have
my
for
lady
us?
has nothing to do with food.
That's fine.
I don't know
That's
her
fine.
favorite food. I don't know anything.
No worries.
But definitely a super interesting lady.
Yeah.
She also comes from Egypt.
Oh.
So we're still kind of in that area.
Look at that.
Her name is Sameera Moussa.
Gotcha. Nice.
She was the first female Egyptian nuclear physicist.
Whoa. Nuclear
Right?
physicist. Look at that.
So she held a
Yes.
doctorate in atomic radiation.
Okay. Yeah.
We're talking an extremely smart woman here.
Yeah, nice. She's almost a rocket scientist. She's actually a nuclear scientist.
I'm not even
nuclear
sure I can say
scientist, right?
nuclear physicist.
You know, I meant to practice at home with Josh before I got here because I didn't want to have a George Bush moment where I
Right.
said it wrong.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
This is very true. I already said
Just ignore
strategery,
me.
which was a
Right.
George
There
Bush
you
Jr. ism.
She was definitely she was a trendsetter. She had many firsts. But as I really hooked onto her and started digging deeper, looking at what showed up when I Googled her, when I looked at YouTube, it was really interesting because a lot of what is first presented as her life is not accurate.
Oh.
So I actually was...
Amy and I are fully like, really? Tell us more.
But I feel like you guys are so aware. I'm so gullible. I'm like, I read it, so it has to be true. Even though I
thing
know...
that came up on Google, it's right.
Even though I know in the back of my mind, there's a lot of misinformation out
There's
there.
a lot, especially
There's
about
a
women.
lot, right?
Yeah.
You got to go to page 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, that's where the good stuff is.
But there's a lot of backbone to her that I feel like you can kind of find her essence and who she really is.
Ooh, nice.
And which is incredible, but not at the level of exaggeration that they would like to subscribe to, that
She's
they would
not
like
that-
to attribute to her.
Not that genius, other level
Yeah,
unattainableness.
She is a STEM goddess.
Nice.
She's a brainiac. She's a trailblazer.
Yep.
But she's not maybe superhero.
Gotcha. She's
We're
down
not
to
going to
earth.
give her the first of everything. She's a real person.
Nice.
Um,
We need those too.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get you there to who she truly is, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of interesting information, true or false, about her
Yeah.
online. But what is true is
Yeah.
she was born in Egypt, northern Egypt,
Gotcha.
in 1917 in March.
Uh,
my
When
gosh.
she was young, her mother died from cancer.
oh, gotcha. Yeah. So she had that loss at an early age.
Right, and it definitely had a huge influence on her. So after her mother died, they ended up moving to Cairo.
Gotcha.
Her family, she had siblings, I'm not sure how many, but her father took all of them to Cairo and invested his money in a small hotel
Oh,
in that
okay.
region.
Yeah.
Clearly he did well because by the time she was school age, he ended up owning the school that she went to and attended.
Oh, nice.
However, she always excelled at school.
Yeah.
She was always top of her class,
Nice.
no matter where she went.
He bought her a school.
Right. I know. My dad never bought me a
Oh,
skull.
there we go.
Or a pony, and I'm still mad about it.
Oh, I can't.
You know, one thing that kind of threw me with all of this,
Yeah.
I saw more than one place that she was so smart. She was honors student. She could do whatever.
Mhm.
She could have gone on to be an engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I don't understand why being an engineer in Egypt is so important.
Maybe there's more opportunity.
Maybe that's like
The doctoriness,
the
yeah, the
whatever.
lawyeriness, yeah.
The dam, the drilling.
drilling.
Yeah.
Like
They're
you
like-
wait, where being an engineer is like a god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They're
yeah.
like, she could have been an engineer,
Yeah.
but she decided to be
a nuclear
a
physicist.
nuclear physicist.
I mean, there are
She
levels.
took a step down
She did not.
to be a PhD level nuclear physicist.
I think that measuring stick is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right here on Wikipedia it says she achieved high grades in secondary education and could have pursued a career in engineering.
Could have.
She
That's such judgment.
insisted on joining the Faculty of Sciences at Cairo University. In 1939, she obtained a BSc in radiology.
That's incredible for 1939.
1939.
For women in science.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that
That's-
influenced by her mother?
Yes.
Is the radiology part?
Yes,
there you
absolutely.
go. Oh,
So
that makes
she
her find
ignored-
the cancers that
She
took her mother,
ignored
yeah.
engineering.
Mhm.
And
to save people. Sorry,
Sorry,
we're jumping all over your lady.
That's okay. That's okay. She pursued
We're
a
doing
degree
exactly
in
what
sciences.
she said was the complaint was. We're making her into this superhero.
Well, no, she was though. She was incredible,
excited about it.
incredible. So she graduated the first of her class with honors, receiving a degree on the effects of X-ray radiation. She studied and received a degree on X-ray radiation on various materials.
Oh, nice.
So that was kind of her undergraduate focus.
And in 39.
that was a lot of syllabals for undergraduate.
You did very good, Katie. I'm very proud of you.
Claps,
But in
claps.
39, I mean, oh gosh, what was it? Because I think Marie Curie went for the First World War and was doing
Mhm.
X-ray things, and we didn't know. Like Marie Curie
It
still
was
had radium
cutting
in her pocket.
Edge. It was cutting
Yeah.
edge.
We didn't know what it did. So,
And I think it's really cool that Sameera really clung on to the fact that she thought this could be a medical breakthrough.
yeah,
But she also was invested in the safety of what she was doing.
nice.
So a lot of her time spent was on doing various experiments of what materials you could use,
Yeah,
what exposure did to the patients.
nice.
There was definitely that model
Care.
of care there for sure,
I like
sure.
that. And also rare.
Right. Right. So she ended up becoming an assistant professor at Cairo University, which
Ooh.
makes her the first woman
yeah.
professor at Cairo
Wow.
University. 'Cause we're talking
Wow.
1939, right?
Yeah, cool.
So her wish was, this is a quote from her,
Mhm.
"My wish is for nuclear treatment of cancer to be as available and as cheap as aspirin."
Oh.
Yeah.
And I mean, in 2024,
We're sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. Wouldn't it have been to have that? Because so many people go through chemotherapy and radiation
Yes.
treatments, and it's financially draining.
Right.
So, yeah, that would have been great.
And that's with insurance.
That's with it, yeah.
That is financially draining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nuts. We failed
So
her.
I think the core of her research on nuclear potential
Mhm.
was definitely from that helping people standpoint.
Yeah.
It was definitely at her core was being able to save people from what her mother went through.
Yeah.
And in all the different articles or YouTube videos I found about her,
Yeah.
that was a consistent.
Nice.
Was the reason she got into this was to make treatment and care available for people who are undergoing cancer treatment.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it's still controversial if it's true or not, but many sources attribute to her
Mhm.
is learning how to use copper to use that X-ray technology
Oh.
instead of more expensive materials, which
Ah.
very much aligned with her desire to make
accessible.
radiation
Yeah.
an accessible treatment for all.
Oh, neat.
So,
Yeah.
however, I would say that that's probably the core of what I know about her to be true.
Gotcha. Yeah. The rest of it is a little bit sus.
A little bit
suspect.
sus, right?
That just
Um,
seems crazy. I mean, 38 people.
Yeah.
We were writing stuff down. Like, how is this not known?
Uh-huh. Right?
Right?
Woman
No,
in Cairo. That's probably why. Ah!
If only she
she
had
has
a
an.
TikTok.
I think she has like an autobiography out there.
Ooh. All
I
right.
really
Must
don't
find.
know, right? I don't know a lot of information about that.
Yeah.
But she's become something of like I don't know how to put it, but kind of a representative,
Okay.
an icon
Mhm.
Yes.
for Egypt, for women in STEM, women in science. So I think it's been
Nice.
exaggerated kind of from there, which
Fair.
is a nice thought.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we definitely want to encourage other women that if you can see it, you can be it.
Mhm.
But it doesn't have to be that over the top.
Right.
We're already talking about the
Overgrandizing.
fact that she was the first female professor at Cairo University.
Yeah.
She was extremely smart.
Yeah.
She made lots of progress in the field that she was interested in.
Yeah.
And the rest of it becomes really kind of murky as
Okay.
she gets out of that, like, earning her PhD level.
Okay. Gotcha.
She definitely is very involved in that nuclear physicist science stuff, which
Yes.
I don't understand.
Right. Literally above pay grade.
Right.
Ugh.
Right.
Fair.
There's a lot of information about how when the end of World War II came and Japan was bombed with nuclear bombs,
Right.
that she definitely turned her efforts towards using atomic energy for peace, radiation for peace.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Atoms for Peace is a slogan that's attributed to her.
Oh, that's
But
so interesting.
If you
Yeah,
look at
exactly.
it,
Oh.
it came out 2 years after she died.
Oh. So did she say it and someone coined it, or is
We
it not
don't
actually
know.
attributed to her?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Exactly. Okay. That's
I
fair.
don't know.
That's fair.
But I think at the core of it too, we can say that she wanted to use radiation to help people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who she was and what she wanted. However, in that time period after she got her PhD, she ended up coming to the United States.
Oh, nice.
There's reports that she was offered a Fulbright scholarship.
Ooh.
Wow.
There's no record
Sure.
that she
But-
was offered such a thing.
But if she already had, I mean, that would be to do more research. It would be to get another
Yeah.
master's, and because she had a PhD in education. Okay, yeah, sure.
One thing that seems to be true.
Yeah,
I'm
in
using my
quotes.
fingers like
Yeah.
bunny ears.
I know, finger quotes on a podcast.
Seems
it's great.
to be true.
Yeah.
Is that she was shown into secret U.S. atomic facilities.
Ooh, I doubt it because she was
Ooh.
still a woman.
No. But
Yeah.
theoretically,
Yeah.
I almost want to believe it because it created controversy, of
Oh,
course.
of course.
Because not only was she a woman, but she was also a foreign woman.
Oh, yeah.
Middle Eastern.
That's
A
a
Middle
double
Eastern
note.
woman
Yeah.
invited into atomic facilities.
Right.
The reason I want to believe it is because shortly after that report, she was offered citizenship in the United States.
Oh. Okay.
Kind of like we raised a stink by letting her come and
Right.
look at this.
Right.
Although there's a little part of my brain that's like, if she
Yeah.
wants to use radiation for peace, why would she be touring
Right.
atomic radiation sites in the United States. Although I know science was happening.
To see
Science,
how-
science was happening.
I could also see U.S. scientists going, well, we'll just convince her to, to come to our side of nuclear thinking and of the war machine. Like maybe we'll just convince this lady.
Right?
And use her smarts.
So because
Maybe.
that created quite the controversy, the United States did want to grant her American citizenship.
Okay.
However, she refused and said, Egypt, my dear homeland, is waiting for me.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
lovely. Kudos. Bravo.
Right?
Especially during that time period. So, ew.
The other thing that's very shadowed and controversial about her is actually her death.
Oh.
Whoa.
She was actually still in the United States traveling
Okay.
and visiting. She was in Wyoming
Okay.
when she died in a car crash on August 15th, 1952.
Oh.
So she was only 35 years old.
Oh.
She had an embassy, a civil, or I don't want to say civilian. It was an Air Force civilian employee
Oh.
was assigned to drive her around.
So she was being chauffeured.
She was being
Yes.
chauffeured.
Okay.
There's things that say she was being chauffeured to an atomic site, to a
Mm.
hotel, to the airport to leave and go home.
Oh.
That part is not clear to me.
Mm.
And why would you go to Wyoming?
Wyoming,
There's
yeah,
a-
because
there was nuclear testing there.
That's like the only.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
only reason to be there. It's
I
not
feel
Yeah.
like she
they're
had to have
just
been there
visit
for
a
that.
university
I
for
know,
medical
right?
research.
Right, exactly. Yes, yeah. Not just in the city center, cuz.
Wyoming is so famous for their cancer treatment.
Right.
So on that day, she was riding as a passenger in a 1952 Buick sedan,
Gotcha.
driven by Arlene Orwin Kessler, a civilian employee from Washington, D.C., when their car lost control and fell 52 feet into a 30-foot ravine.
Oh.
Both died at the scene.
Oh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
However, there's also reports that only her body was recovered,
Huh.
and the driver bailed before the car went off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of hearsay that it was an assassination,
Sure.
and
right.
that's why she died.
Get rid of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That seems crazy.
does.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very suspect. Very sus.
Well, it's just like, I mean, she just saw facilities. It's
Right.
not.
that she was being chauffeured to. So, like, they showed them to her.
Yeah.
Did she ask the wrong questions?
I mean, I have to say, like, there's a lot of reporting of physicists and scientists involved in that nuclear research and technology that had mysterious deaths. So I don't know if she was a part of that, if it was
Right.
just a total accident
Right.
that had nothing to do with her
Yeah, 'cause
research and her
she
purpose for
wasn't
being
even-
there.
And how long was she in the country?
I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
There's really very little information about really her movements,
Like,
which
classified.
does seem very weird because we're talking 40s, 50s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will
We're
say,
talking
what
Roswell. I'm sorry. I'm
do you
just
know
fine.
about her is
my
that
God,
she
the
was a
aliens.
brilliant woman.
Sorry,
She was
we've
a-
totally got
that's
aliens.
okay.
Hey,
She was
Veer,
a
how are you?
brilliant woman
Yes. Yeah.
whose drive was to save people from
Right.
cancer. Like, she wanted
Yeah.
to further cancer treatment to make it widely available to save lives.
Yeah. And if she's being toured around by the military, those are counterintuitive to
Yeah.
one another.
Beyond
So,
that, I really don't know
yeah. What the hell happened?
what her life looked like, but I do know that 35,
Yeah, it's a young.
5 years younger than I am right now, that is so
Oof.
young.
Yeah.
It really makes
Yeah.
me think what she would have been able to accomplish.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Having more time, more research ability, more exploration,
Mhm.
and not
But I will
whatever she
say-
got into.
No matter which of these tales are true about her, she's
Yeah.
definitely an icon in the film,
Yeah.
in the field of
STEM.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
And it's definitely a cool role model, especially for women in the Middle East.
Yeah,
So.
I love it. Well, I mean, you wrapped that up so nicely.
But she's a mystery.
I know, right?
Ooh.
Clouded in mystery. Do you want to
Right.
wrap it up,
I
Donna?
do.
Sweet.
Well, that wraps it up for us this week. Join us next week as another Middle Eastern gal is picked to share as Gal's Guide podcast continues. Thanks for listening.
Want to learn about more women of history? Gal's Guide opened a unique women's history lending library. Come visit and explore our collection. Learn more at galsguide.org. Thanks for listening.